Continuing here. The point I was trying to make there was that you don't want trouble with Russia. Our military does not want trouble with Russia. At least the white hats don't. Okay? You talk about stirring up the Third World War and all this. We got George Soros over there starting trouble in the Ukraine and all these issues with Crimea, all this crap going on. Listen, Trump had the right attitude as far as I'm concerned. He's right. And there's corruption in these intelligence agencies. Hillary Clinton, like Putin pointed out in the press conference, got some $400 million somehow, so her campaign contributions from Russian sources. He alluded to knowing something about that. All these people are spying on each other. Everybody knows spy versus spy. This stuff's been going on for as long as we've had governments. There's been spies. It goes back in the Bible, there were spies. Excuse me, chewing a little bit. I'm starving to death here. Sometimes I get so hungry I can't eat. Got a great appetite, but but there's a point where, you got to eat to survive. So I'm just gnawing on a piece of cheese here. Got some extra sharp cheddar. It's delicious. But listen, I love what Trump did in Russia. I'm very proud of him. I'm very glad. And these intelligence agents, these black hats better watch their backs, because those white hats are watching your butts too. Just remember, okay? If you want to be a black hat and you want to be anti-Trump for no good reason at all, and just remember, all these people that hate Trump supporters, by default, they're telling you they'd rather Hillary and Bill Clinton be back in the White House. Bill Clinton, Slick Willie, slinking around the White House looking for his next sex victim, okay? Like a predator. I mean, this stuff's open source. You can look it up. He's settled all kinds of suits with women. That's a matter of record. So there's nothing, it's not like Slick Willie could sue me for saying something. I mean, they openly call him a rapist, and he can't sue because it's been documented that he's a mean SOB. He's a biter. And you want him in the White House? You'd rather have him than Slick Willie? I watch TMZ. Harvey Levin makes me nuts sometimes. That guy, at least they had a congressman on today, I can't remember his name, is Trump supporter. But, you could see that he was really having to hold back from being condemning. The whole idea of calling Trump traitorous. You're all you people that call Trump traitorous for meeting with the head of state like Putin, and all the other presidents that we've had meeting with Russian presidents and leaders. You're such hypocrites, man. You're all the traitors. You don't want what's best for America. What's best for America is détente with Russia. Of course we should work together with Russia. What are the Russians doing that's so bad? They've gotten away from communism. They've gotten away from socialism. And now we're going to condemn them? You see how these establishmentarians are? They're evil. They don't even know what the hell they're just evil, man. They crack the door to the closet they're in a little bit, and then all their supporters rush out there. And they all got the same talking point. They're all saying, oh, well, I'm going to use a different word. Oh, it was just astonishing. It was just, oh, my God, it's the worst thing I ever saw was what Trump is sycophant and just sucking up to Putin. And, oh, what a spectacle. Oh, it was abhorrent. It was a travesty. It was un-American. It was treasonous. It was, oh, an abomination. Oh, my God, Trump's horrible. God, he's got to impeach him. Oh, my God, we're beside, oh, my God. Trump met with Putin. Oh, the world's coming to an end. Oh, my God, you all sicken me to my stomach. All you are Slick Willie supporters. The biggest traitor in American history. Look up the Glass-Steagall Act. Slick Willie was responsible for letting that act expire. That kept a leash on the banksters. Slick Willie was almost single-handedly responsible for causing the harm from the bailout of '08. That damage. That was his fault. what he did, allowing the banksters to go wild west on our asses. And George Bush, baby Bush, he's just as big a poss. He green-lighted all that reckless lending, too. They've done it, man. They've stabbed us in the back. And we're in it deep, very deep. We're in a lot of trouble. California's ahead of the curve. So if you want to know where the rest of the nation is going, a higher cost of living tax. That's all I got to say. They're going to raise it to where it's virtually impossible for you to ever enter middle-class home ownership. That's what they're after. And Trump is trying to reverse that. And I'm telling you what, he hasn't succeeded yet because the prices are still going up. The cost of living tax is still going up. So, all I got to say is it's got to be the right time in history. Because apparently 1963 wasn't when JFK was murdered. But just remember, black hats, the white hats are spying on you now. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Ruminate on that. Okay, the next time you start thinking about colluding with your satanic buddies and conspiring to do some harmful thing to the president, just remember the white hats are watching your butts. Trump was in Scotland and a handful of protesters were out there. But notice how the mainstream media fixates on that. They'll ignore the important stuff. True conspiracies out there. They don't want to talk about that. We all know there's black hats in all these intelligent. They won't talk about that crap. Won't talk about how detrimental it would have been to have 4 or 8 years of Hillary and Slick Willie in the White House to America, to the values of America. Freedom. Look at this, look at that, but don't look at what we tell you not to look at. That's not a story. Remember, they're getting their marching orders, particularly the national media. Your local media, I mean, they'll report accurately on the weather and car accidents and local homicides and arrests and fires and all these kind of things. That's fine. So I'll hand it to the local media on that. But this national media, these stories, these political, social, economic stories they come up with are all slanted to the Bilderberger Group's favor, what they want. They don't want the captive set free. They don't want you to understand rudimentary basic economic principles of supply and demand, what sound economic policy means, what progress means, why your dollar is supposed to go up in worth. They don't want you to figure that out. That's antithetical to their mission, to their agenda. But I want you, as a listener of mine, to understand these things. And very succinctly, very simply. Don't ever be intimidated by anybody else's knowledge about economics. Talk them under the table with just putting them in their place. Cut to the chase. Whose planet is this anyhow? Find out who they trust in. Do they trust in themselves? Do they trust in Satan? Do they trust in the secular world? Or do they trust in God and humanity? Okay? Whose side are they on in this battle? I know whose side I'm on. I'm on your side. I'm on the side of humanity. You know, last week I was saying the only president I've liked since, since Trump was Jimmy Carter. But you know what? I mean, like I said, Reagan had some good qualities. Ford had some good qualities. Nixon even had some good qualities. I mean, at least he ended the war in Vietnam. Sloppy ass as it was. He was an idiot for getting us off the gold standard. That Bretton Woods agreement thing. But, yeah, in my generation, JFK was the man. Of course, RFK would have been the man, but they murdered him too. But we had a long run of idiots, man. A long run. As much as I think that Ronald Reagan was a pretty nice guy, he was dumb as a box of rocks, economically. He just left it to his experts, trust, well, capitalism does what it does, and there's all these forces that he can't control, as he figures. So he just let it run amok and didn't really rein in the banksters. He could have come up with some new regulations to keep these people at bay. See, the problem is they dump money on us. They put us in debt. That's how. How do you think we got a national debt, folks? How do you think this stuff happens? It's not happening in a vacuum. It's all by deliberation. It's a plan. It's intended. It's a scheme. We saw a little bit about these Chicago riots, about the police shootings and this. And we could see this anger and vitriol with the public, and you got to know the devil's in the details. I'm always saying that, I know, but it really is true. When you see, look, this is demonic stuff, man, and they're attacking all of us. And just like violence begets violence, demonry begets demonry. Do you understand? So you might think that you're insulated because, well, I'm on the right and I'm a conservative and I'm a libertarian and I'm a good guy and I'm a capitalist and blah, blah, blah. You're not above reproach. You're still a human being, okay? And you have a propensity to be evil. Yes, we can all be demonic. And so when you see one group that's weaker, let's say, than your group, you see them engaging in demonic revelry and just displays of demon. It's all the cops' fault. We got so don't want to talk about the issues. Don't want to we're not going to educate the public. The mainstream media doesn't use the opportunity to educate people about desperate poverty and how it could all be prevented with just a basic income, just like Social Security extended to younger people. And use a Tobin tax. Nobody feels the pain. Okay, nobody feels the pain. I say a Tobin tax on Wall Street because they're trading in commodities that belong to the earth. And if they belong to the earth, they belong to you. They belong to me. They belong to all of us. Okay, they belong to God ultimately, just like we all humans belong to God. So that's the justification why a Tobin tax. And it would be painless. It would get the money into circulation. It'd be great for your local economy to have basic income. And the money you could save, you could cut your taxes in half because you're not going to have to support this massive prison industrial complex, criminal industrial complex. The debt industrial complex we're going to be in the black. The dubious warfare industrial complex, the social welfare industrial complex. You're going to save massive amounts of money on your taxes from that. Massive amounts. So it's a very conservative idea. It's not a socialist idea. It's a conservative idea. Beyond that, it's a biblical idea. It's a godly idea. InfoWars engineer Joe Jennings was killed in a motorcycle accident. Seemed like a really nice guy. A couple of young daughters and a wife, and he lost it all just in a moment. Apparently it wasn't his fault, but when you're riding one of those death mobiles, you've got to you just got to ride like you're invisible to survive. And this is the toll it took on a friend of the InfoWars and employee at InfoWars. It's very sad. Oh yeah, TMZ had this Swalwell character. Oh my God. And the other day, I think it was yesterday, insufferable idiot. Oh my God, I could not. To listen to these people, I mean, it really takes some constitution just to listen to these people without throwing a rock or a hammer through your TV, okay? It's nuts, man. And these repulsive comments from idiot Democrats and Repulsicans about Trump's summit with Putin just make me nuts, man. The glaring bias, the anti-Trump Bilderberger group control, the mainstream media, it just makes me sick to my stomach, all this collusion of evildoers going on in America. Just makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, I have a little addendum to my opinion of all these people that are condemning Trump, calling him